Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. I hope you can come along today for some fun in some composition notebook junk journals. Hi everyone. My desk is definitely piled high today. So welcome to my channel or welcome back. I hope you grab a cup of whatever you enjoy and can journal a bit too. I am drinking some wonderfully strong coffee today. So in this journal video, I'm going to work in my composition notebook junk journal and make a simple, easy, fun background a little bit later. So I hope you can join in with that. And I'm also going to just go over the week of Junk Journal January. Been having a lot of fun with those prompts in my altered composition notebook junk journal. So yeah, 2 journals today, digging into these really fun brush pens that were a Christmas gift. So to get going this morning, I am loving Junk Journal January. I've made this altered composition notebook. I'll link the video. Need more of that coffee, friends, today. I'll link the video below. But basically, I was inspired by a video by Ruby and Pearl XO, just using the blues of January. I love that color in January, and an old pair of jeans. And right now, this is a no-sew junk journal. Used an old composition notebook cover, grunged it up, linked it together or secured it with a piece of string. And I'm still considering if I want to sew the signatures in. The more I work in it, I'm leaning in that direction just because the pages sort of wibble and wobble when you work in them. So we'll see what happens, but right now, a lot of inspiration from Meg at Meg Journals and all the collaborators. So I just glued that in. Check out her channel and Instagram, and there's just so much there. I'm going to catch up on a few of the videos this week. So this is last week's prompts, and then this is the beginning of the week. I left a pile of stuff on my art table and got to it over the course of the week. So 15 minutes here, a half hour there, 5 minutes here. So this is the first prompt, and it is number 8, Blossom. And I had this, I think it was, it's like a Dollar Tree pattern coloring book with quotes, and I pulled that out, cut out the coloring page, and sort of just inked it up and glued it down on this pretty inky paper that I had a blast making this summer. I even pressed some of the ferns on my garden, from my garden rather, on it, and then I used one of the brush pens to write the word garden. So Blossom is prompt 8. Prompt 9 was hidden, and I decided to use more of those inky papers and just make a pocket. I love that. I love the colors. I'm very partial to the blues and the turquoise and the greens. So I'm using hidden as like the papers kind of are matchy-matchy and hidden on the page, right? Who knows what direction you go with these prompts. Now prompt number 10 was intricate. So I did this doodle up on the top, made a tuck spot with those Moonlight gel pens that I showed last week, and put that doily on and just sort of did a random tag. And yeah, so really simple, easy to do, and I may journal a bit on that later. I've done almost no writing this week. I got to go back to that. Number 10, so that was 10. So 11 was pocket and 12 was throwback. So I kind of did a combination here. I did throwback by using crayons, and then I did a little bit of inking with that acrylic gold paint to make some journaling spots. And then I've been digging into my postcard collection. This is a beautiful one from the New York Botanical Garden. And then I just wrote the word crayons for the throwback. So that was a lot of good playing. Yeah, so 10 through 12. Number 13 is hobby. So one of the hobbies I have is Zentangled inspired art. And I took a class by a friend this week. It was really good to get back together. And this is a Japanese inspired postcard, and we did that in the class. It's actually a class made by Yvonne Westover. She has an Instagram. Oh, sorry, I can't get this tag out for the next one. I believe it's it is Y West Art, YWEST Art on Instagram. So it's actually her class that my friend did the postcard with. And what I'm showing you on the right hand side is the last prompt for the week with that sticky tag, which was from the day. So I just took a little bit from the tea that I had that day and that bit from that Amy's bowl and stuck it on there clearly with a lot of glue. Yeah, so Junk Journal January, enjoying that. We'll leave the info in the description box below, but check it out if you, and you can jump in at any time. You can do the prompts whenever you want, and you can do a few. You don't have to do the whole month, but really, really fun stuff. Okay, moving now to the second junk journal, my creative journal that I do a couple pages, 2 to 4 pages a week. And look at this baby. I had a family member give me this 1902. Oh my gosh, guys. Sears and Roebuck catalog. Look at this gem roller organ thing. I don't know. So what I have done is run a few black and white copies. Look at these lap robes. Who knew? And I'm going to use those for background papers. I have this printable from Little Bindi on the top, her Etsy shop. More pretty postcards from my stash. And let me just go back. So if you're not familiar with this, this is my new one for January. I ended up landing on just doing a vision board. Can you see my word of the year? And I'm doing a little bit of word of the week, a phrase of the week. I don't know. I'm playing with that. Those are last week's pages. And then a quick catch up. I did some mark making on the right. And again, digging into my postcard stash. I have these pretty postcards. They're women in art. Let me see what they are. They're women artists. Yeah, the Beatrix Potter one. And I think you can get them on Amazon. I believe I got them. Here they are. So I'm thinking of putting that on my page. They're Women in Art, 50 Fearless Creatives by Rachel Ignotofsky. Trying to pronounce that right. So pretty. And again, I just pulled postcards out of my stash. I am a big fan of using them in my journals. They're so easy to make pockets and tuck spots or journaling cards. So digging back into the stash in the new year, I did some mark making on this book page. And then I grabbed these Tombow markers, which were a holiday gift, and decided to swatch them out. Oops. Full pockets here. So these are the dual brush, so both tips, you have a fine point and the brush point. Look at these colors. I love them. Swatch them out. They go by numbers, not by names. And I filled this pocket up. Made a little card with the Little Bindi printables. Put in my pita bite crackers from this week. A little quote. Yeah, so I'll get back to a bit of documenting. And this is the page I wanted to work on together today. So taking that pretty art postcard, And look, this is one of the sweet littles in our family. Gonna use that as a journaling card, some scrapbook paper. And oh yeah, this was like a Zentangle inspired art week. So a group of my crafty friends, we got together and just had a little fun one night, and we used this book, Yoga for the Brain. I think you can also get that on Amazon. And we just did, she has this fun like trail marker lesson in it with the rocks. So we did it. That book is by, let me find that, Steen Bartholomew. And I've had that book in my stash for a while. So we just had a fun hangout night, and that was my little trail marker I did that night. And I decided to use it as a pocket. So because of that, I have this sort of rock inspired page. I decided if I'm going to use the crafty night activity for the pocket, maybe I would do sort of this mark making in this, I don't know, rock kind of pattern. More coffee for sure. And yeah, give it a try. So what I've done is grab my Tombow brush pens and double up some tissue paper. And I'm thinking to make a background to cover up the notebook page. So my only tip for doing this is it will bleed through, so double it up. And I found when I was making all these various rock looking shapes that literally if I did like counted to 5, it was about the point when the paper started to get too wet, get too inky, and it was actually going to make a hole. Oh, but look, I love the ghosting too on the other side. So yeah, a tip is if you do this, use a light touch. Be very aware of the ink saturating the paper because it is a lighter process. And I'm going to speed this up, as you can probably tell. It was very relaxing. And yeah, so how is your week going? How is your journaling going? What are you enjoying? All of a sudden I had a burst of Zentangle inspired art, inspiration from a lot of creatives, and just a fun couple hangout times with friends. I've had that Yoga for the Brain book for a very long time, and I love that activity. And it's really, her instructions in that book are simple, easy, lots of pictures, and it really is like that workbook kind of book that you can open up and do one yourself. Ooh, I like that. I don't know if I like the ghosting more than the actual direct, the first one, the ink directly on the paper. Yeah, so mid-January, everybody. Oh yes, these are the Happy Place fold-outs. I purchased those at the beginning of the month. I love the colors. I've actually, until today, I haven't been using those at all as fold-outs. I've been using them more as clip art. But I'm going to try the fold-out method today. And this beautiful postcard. The nice thing about this artist postcard set is, well, there's 50 of them, but in the box, again, I am Pretty sure they're on Amazon, but I bought them at Barnes & Noble. I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac here to make a pocket. But they have a nice little bit of information about each artist, is what I'm trying to say, at the bottom. I love this artist, Rachel. I hope I say her name right. Ignotofsky. No. Ignotofsky. Pardon me. Not always good with names. But, oh, so the point was the set comes, there's 50 of them, but you get 2 sets. So a lot of postcards. Actually, I gave one, my friend is an art teacher, and I gave her a set. Okay, I think that's gonna work as a background. A lot of color in my comp books. Now I have more luck, and I don't know, I would love to know what you do if you use tissue paper or even napkins. When you have a delicate piece of paper, just lining things up here, and the printable's sort of popping up on my page, so I'm digging around for a piece of washi to flatten it for now. I suppose actually it would make sense, it's when I close the book it's going to flatten out anyway. But yeah, when you work with delicate papers, I think I'm not going to glue stick to the actual tissue paper, but on the page I tend to rip it if I put it on the tissue paper, or I don't know. I guess I've done that with napkins too, but I'm gonna go for the on the page. I think it's safer. Right, now here's where I go a little astray. I probably shouldn't have cut it. I know people wet a paintbrush and kind of trim the tissue paper that way, but I wanted some of that bold black. Yeah, I like that. I know this is called a trail marker, the art activity from Yoga for the Brain. I think it's also, is it a cairn? I know there's different names to it. So a good memory with some good friends, a little crafty night. Makes a cute pocket in the journal. I love that sweet writing from that little pretty postcards. New holiday markers. Yay. So I hope you're enjoying your journaling. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. And I think that's all for today. Happy January journaling to you.